What's going on, folks, and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another catch, clean, and cook, but this time we're going to do a teriyaki duck stir fry type meal. I'm going to try to concoct whatever happens. I've never cooked this before. I usually only cook duck on the grill, so this is going to be the first time cooking it on a skillet. So we're going to have to see how that goes. I've had the duck meat sitting in salt water for the past maybe around 12 to 24 hours, and what that does is it draws the blood out of the meat, and it kind of takes away the game taste, so you get nothing but just that good meat taste, not like you're tasting something that was just flying over the delta and eating around a bunch of mud. So that's the only way I could explain it. The best thing is do that. With any kind of wild game meat, actually. I do it with deer meat. I'll do it with not necessarily turkey, but there's several stuff. I was going to marinate the meat in some teriyaki, but I think I'm just going to use that whenever I'm cooking the meat in the skillet, and maybe it like glazes it. I really don't know what it's going to do, so I really hope that turns out good. I've never cooked this meal, but with that being said, I'm going to get the meat out. We're going to cut it up, and then it should only be like a 5-minute process of cooking this meat and making a meal, and I'm pretty hungry right now. So for the people that want to see a little bit of duck hunting, I will throw up just a few clips, because I mean I've posted maybe 3 videos from this same location hunting the ponds that we hunt over in Mississippi, but I'll throw up a few different birds flying in cupped up, and I don't even know if I'll be shooting. I might be behind the big camera, or I might have some clips of the GoPro rolling of me shooting, but I'm gonna throw some of them up and enjoy that and come straight back, and we'll be doing a little bit of cooking.
There you go. Shoot that bird. That was terrible. 15 bullets.
Okay, so the duck meat is just about gray because it's been bleeding out and whatever else. But it's been sitting in there, like I said earlier, it's been sitting in there for like 12, 20, 24 hours, whatever it is. First thing I'm going to do is lay this out on this plate right here. Wow, I've never seen duck meat get this gray, and it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't look appetizing right now, but get me a napkin. Ducks can't carry it, but I'm still not going to get salmonella, so, alright. So this is what our duck meat looks like. And my idea is I'm going to cut it in strips. That way it doesn't take as much cooking. And like, you know, when say you go to Panda Express, you're not just going to get a big hunk of meat. You're going to get those little like if you get like I don't know, I think it's called pepper steak. You get like just a little thin slices. So they're not going to be too thin, but they're not going to be thick either. So let's see how this cuts. Okay, I gotta decide how I want to cut it. If I want to cut it long ways, if I want to cut it like this. I think if I do it this way, it's gonna be way too many pieces. I can't say I had the sharpest knife in the world, but it is cutting okay. Right now, that's what we got. It looks pretty decent to me. I might do just a hair thicker. And by the way, cooking tip to everybody that doesn't want to cut their fingertips off. Whenever you're cutting meat like this, instead of laying your fingers on there, curl your fingers like this, inward. That way you're not cutting yourself, or your fingertips, because you're still holding it down, but your fingers are pointing in. Now, I like this piece better. It's a long, goodness gracious, if I can get it in my hand. It's a long, thin piece, probably maybe a 1/4 inch thick, and I don't know, maybe 2 inches long, and I think that's going to cook really good and even. So we're gonna cut all these pieces up, and it should make a pretty good size meal. Okay, so here's the finished product. Just a bunch of thin slices, probably, I don't know, half a pound. This is only 2 birds actually, so I mean that's a good bit of meat. What we gotta do, we gotta get rice out. That's only gonna be like half a cup because I'm only feeding myself. I'm gonna do a full cup. So cup of rice, cup of water, duck meat, and also a frozen pack of Great Value stir fry, and I got the Sugar Snap pack. I guess that's because there's Sugar Snap peas in it, but you can get whatever you want. They had one said Supreme, and it had like corn cobs, like tiny little baby corn cobs, and I didn't want the corn cobs. If you count water as 4 ingredients, you got water, rice, meat. Oh, 5. Hold up. Water, rice, meat, stir fry, and teriyaki. Teriyaki is where you're going to get all your flavor. You would normally, or I would normally season my meat, but since I'm doing like, I got teriyaki, I actually bought marinade, and I'm going to use it just like it's a sauce. So to me, it's the same thing. I mean, it might be a little thicker, but it'll cook and glaze and whatever's got to happen. But let's move over to the stove and let's start whipping up some duck meat stir fry. Okay, so we have 2 items on the stove top, and that's going to be our pot with its top, and that right there has a cup of water in it. Only just a cup. And then we have our trusty dusty cheapo skillet. I wish I had a cast iron, but we're going to use this because, like I said earlier, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cut this on. We're going to cut it on high. And what you do with this, if nobody's ever made minute rice or instant rice, whatever you want to call it, it takes 1 cup of water to 1 cup of rice. And what you do is you get your water boiling, and once that's boiling, then you throw your rice in, and then you put a top on it, get it off the direct heat, and then it soaks up all that water, and then it's fluffy rice goodness. So what we're going to do with this, so duck doesn't have much fat content within its meat. So we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to our skillet right here. That way we don't have much stickage. Okay, so our olive oil is spread without our skillet, and crank this heat up. Might as well say high. I really, honestly, if I had to tell you, I don't honestly know what I'm doing because I've never done this before. And I feel like I've seen a video of this years ago, back whenever I started duck hunting, and then just thought about like, wow, that seems like it's a good idea to cook, but never did it. Okay, so now our water, it started boiling pretty fast. So, oh gosh, I'm gonna end up spilling this. Measure out a cup of rice. I probably ought to do it over the pot. It's probably smarter, but I might as well make a mess while I'm here. Alright, pretty much a cup of rice. Dump it in there. And a key, something that I forgot, let's take this off. I need a spoon. Stir the rice up. Take it off the heat. Put a top on it. And then it's going to steam up and it's going to get right. We can cut this off. And literally, this, I will have to say this recipe probably takes maybe 5 minutes. Depending on how this meat cooks, I might give it 10. But like that rice, that water started boiling so quick. So we're going to dump this duck meat off into the skillet. Oh my gosh! Alright, that was unexpected. I probably should have used just regular olive oil spray. That way it would have been less, because I put a good amount in there. Oh my gosh. One second. No fires today. I think the smoke alarm is just trying to be protective, which is good. At least I know the smoke alarm works. So one thing you really don't want to happen with duck meat is you don't want to overcook duck meat, because duck meat, it can get real tough and the texture isn't as pleasing as you would want it to be. If you don't want to be eating a piece of jerky right now in your stir fry. But I will say, hey, Panda Express ain't got nothing on this, because this stuff looks good. What we're going to do is I'm going to take it out of here and I'm going to let it rest on this plate. And we will be using this same skillet to cook our veggies. Stir fried veggies, they're going to go in the same exact skillet as the duck meat was cooked in. Oh, alright. What we're going to do is we're going to let this cook till they're not frozen anymore, so until they're soft, pretty much. Not fully cooked, but we're going to get them down to where they're edible. We're going to cook this until it's nice and good. Take this meat and put it right back into the pan or the skillet, whatever you want to call this thing. Throw it back in there, mix it up, whatever. Do as you please. And we're going to take this teriyaki, just cheapo. I mean, it's cheapo stuff. We're going to take this teriyaki and we're going to add it in here. Just about so. I would just eyeball. I mean, you don't want it just absolutely drowned in teriyaki sauce, but you also don't want pieces to not have teriyaki on it. And your finished product is going to look something like this. Now the steam needs to go away, but just glazed meat, glazed vegetables, just all needs to be combined as one. It's a time to taste test. So we're going to taste test it. We're going to plate it up. We're going to make it look like I'm Chef Boyardee. And let's give her a try. We finally got our finished product. And if I do say so myself, I might just be Gordon Ramsay. And by the way, I am totally joking when I say I might be Gordon Ramsay. I like the things that I cook, but I'm not a professional. If you want to make this recipe, just follow the same things I did. You only have to use 5 items, including some things that you don't even eat. So, and the things you don't eat are like pots and pans and whatever. You just use them to cook what you're going to eat. I mean, it looks really good. Honestly, it looks really good. So we're going to just try a good old piece of duck meat, just to see how the meat tastes, all with the teriyaki, and then we'll try the rice and everything else. So. I will say, I don't think the meat is as tender as it could be. I think I way overcooked this. Apparently, the amount of rest time it had in the heat that was retained in the meat as it was resting, must have cooked it more. And so now I have a little bit of tough meat. But the flavor is there. The teriyaki's good. And, I mean, I have a whole bed of rice and vegetables and everything else. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy watching me try to cook this for the first time, and maybe you got a new recipe in your recipe book from it. I don't know. It's pretty good in my book. You can try it yourself. So, other than that, if you did enjoy it, I really would appreciate if you would hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me know that you enjoy these videos, and it seems like y'all like the Catch, Clean, and Cooks even more than the other videos, just generic us hunting or doing whatever we're doing. So, if you do like it, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get up to like 200 right now. I think we got a good ways till 200. We're past the 100 mark, but we still got to have a goal. So we're going to keep pushing, and I'm going to finish this meal off camera. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.